Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey everyone, welcome to the discussion for Burgle Bros 2, The Casino Capers. Quick caveat is, for this review is I have not played the first one, but Brett has, so we will actually have to be able to compare and contrast the two. But overall, like, this is not dissimilar from a lot of other cooperative games that I've played. Like, if you've played, you made a good comparison, Forbidden Desert or Forbidden Sky. Mm-hmm. I've never actually played Forbidden Island, but those two are kind of a lot of, the game is difficult because it's random, and that's what makes the game difficult. Yeah. Those kind of
the strategies is trying to plan for randomness.
Yes, exactly, and so there's, for me, it's trying to find or strike that balance of strategy versus random, because it's like, well, it's hard because all you do is roll dice, like Ghost Stories or shit, where it's like you have very little control, and if dice go your way, then great. Or, in this case, similar to the 4x4 tiles, like the desert tiles in Forbidden Desert, it's kind of the same situation. Like, the game will be very difficult or very easy if things go your way in any particular notion. I find those cooperative games kind of frustrating, and because I never feel like, oh, well, I lost because of any decision I made. Like, it's like, no, we actually, like, there was nothing you can do except, oh, hey, the safe tile was the very last one we happened to find. The owner's office was the very last one we happened to find. Kat was the only one who can get there and roll dice, and we needed a 6, and she just couldn't roll a 6. So we're just here, with our dicks in our hands, just trying to fucking, all right, let's make it to Kat's turn again so she can roll. And great, she didn't get a 6. Wow, that was 15 minutes. Okay. Let's just keep going. But these kinds of cooperative games reminds me of really old school video games where they weren't long, but they were super difficult. So they had to be difficult because, well, if it was easy, it would be a 10-minute game.
Yeah. Not much content, so we have to stretch it out.
Exactly. Like the original, like, Battletoads, and like, where it's like, this is just a busted, kind of got me, what do they call them, quarter eaters or whatever, where it's like you're just meant to keep trying because they couldn't make a fully fleshed out game. That's kind of what these cooperative games remind me of, where it's like, well, there's not really a whole lot here, so let's just make it extremely random so you don't win all the time.
Right. And fun enough to be replayable, so you want to keep trying.
Right. And that's kind of where I'm conflicted, because I don't hate this game, but it did kind of come to a breaking point where I was starting to get annoyed.
Right. Yeah. It feels like there's a lot of strategy at the beginning, and then it virtually all disappears by the end.
You're right. Kind of once you find the safe, in this one particular, where you have to crack it, it's like, I remember being told about that at Gen Con. I'm like, oh, that sounds cool. Not even thinking, because obviously I didn't test it out. It's like being told one thing and actually putting it into practice is like they're night and day.
Right.
Because it's like, oh man, yeah, that does sound interesting. Because you have to, the row and columns, yeah, it's once again exactly like Forbidden Desert. You had to get the pieces, like you had to find the pieces. Like for the engine, it was like, okay, you found the one, and then that piece, so wherever it meets, that's where it's actually at. So now you have to go get it.
Which of course no one's near.
Exactly.
So now you're going to run all the way over there.
Yeah.
It's probably buried under a bunch of sand.
Right, exactly. But overall, it does feel like a heist. It does feel like a casino heist. I thought that was pretty thematic. I think the two layers are interesting. I think they're cool. I think the way it's so funny because the bouncer kind of does move weirdly, like the desert eye, the eye of the storm.
Yeah. So this one, it's predictable ahead of time.
It is predictable. But
then there's a bunch of ways it can suddenly change.
Right, and I appreciate that. I like the fact that you can actually see where the bouncer's going, plan his routes. That's thematic. It's not like he doesn't just teleport. You can just be in the casino and watch the bouncer be like, okay, it looks like that's his patrol, so that's the way he's going, so I'm going to try and... There's a fucking wall here. Oh my god, he's coming right at me. So it's thematic enough that I enjoyed that, but I think our game lasted about an hour, and for me it felt about 30 minutes too long.
It lasted about an hour.
Sorry, an hour and a half.
I was gonna say, I was like, it felt longer.
Yeah,
than
sorry, an hour and a half. I wanted to play in about an hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes more sense. I was like, it felt longer.
Right. So, what are your guys' overall thoughts on Burgle Bros 2?
I want to hear Kat's first because I cannot help but compare the two.
That's fair. I would say it is good. We just got very unlucky. We got really unlucky. I thought it was hilarious about all the pool incidents.
Fucking cannonball.
That could not have been more
are you
like...
fucking kidding me?
It just was not in the cards.
Yeah.
Like, the stars were not aligned for us. We were going to get caught. We were destined for it. Which I think is thematically, sure, you're robbing a casino. Like, it's not going to go great for you. It was a little frustrating at the end. Just because you do get gridlocked and you're like, okay. And then even after all that, like, just to get, absolutely locked down. We just had a bad
just
second
how many
floor.
times did we get locked down? And it's like, I have to go save Cad from a stupid saleswoman.
So I'm just so susceptible to sales.
And there's like nothing you can do about that. It's just, okay, that burns a person's turn completely, so...
Yeah.
There's only one goal, and if you do this, you're going to lose instantly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not... It just felt like there wasn't enough mitigation. I mean, there is with your gear cards, so it's like maybe we just burned our gear cards too quick.
I think we all might have burned our really good ones.
Right.
Well,
But that's also one of those things where it's like there's never the perfect time. You always think there's going to be, but then it never shows up, and then you never use it.
yeah, and that would be the one thing that replaying and experience would go. Yeah, if we use it now, though,
Right.
now we can envision we really need it more later.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like definitely like the mustache would have been, but that's the thing. It's like I used the mustache in the time where Cat was gonna lose.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will say I do like the fact that once you use a gear card and flip it, it does give you an extra ability. I like the fact that they're not just gone.
Right.
That is nice, yeah, because at least you can look forward to that and be like, okay, well, there is going to be something.
And those on the back are definitely geared toward helping the team,
Yes.
and not anything.
Just-
well, actually, they all are. coming
Yeah, the
together.
gear was like just current player.
Yeah.
and I
So-
like that. So it's like I can give Cat a mustache. I could get Cat to zip line out of the way or grappling hook.
Yeah.
So I mean, because the grappling hook would have been amazing after this first heist to be like, oh shit, I need to get out of here, and then just go down to the bottom floor instead of have to rely on where the monorail or the escalator was. So there's definitely like, it's more just bitter and annoying that we lost the way we did, but I think at the end of the day, it's like, because it is a campaign. You
Although, since we're in jail now, I'm not sure that.
it's a new team. It's a
now
new
we're
team.
playing Prison Break.
Yeah, so the way it would work is that
That would be
because we lost, our suspicion meter goes down.
Right.
So it goes. We started at 6. It would go down to 5, and we would add a distracted card to both decks.
Nobody
Okay, so we get a little
suspects
buffer.
bad
The
bandits.
distracted card is choose an even numbered room on this floor to be the bouncer's destination.
We
so,
choose.
Yeah, so we get to choose, and if there isn't any, then you just draw another card.
Gotcha.
But anyway, keep going.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't know if I have too much to say. I wouldn't necessarily give it a glowing review, but I would play it again.
Okay.
It just got, shitty at the end.
What about just the basic turn mechanics? Anything particularly complex or flexible that good or bad about just each individual turn and the kind of control you had and the predictability of what you were
Zero
avoiding?
control on the safe. That's probably my biggest complaint.
Yeah.
My biggest negative is that safe because one, it relies heavily on. There's so much of like if we're so thematically, it also doesn't make sense. Like, did we just do no fucking scouting?
Absolutely.
Like we didn't. What do they call it? Where people like show up to your house to kind of
Case.
see. Yeah, we didn't
Case the
case this
Yep.
casino at all. So we just have to walk in and be like, okay, it's somewhere.
Yep.
And then so you have to find it. Then you have to be lucky or hope that the row and column tiles are revealed. And then you have to also find the owner's office. And then after you do all that, you have to then move the dice. Or you have to find the moles and hopefully find them without getting fucked over.
Yeah.
After all that randomness, you then have to roll dice with zero mitigation.
It's like we all walked, like we were all at the bar and we're like, You want to fucking rob this?
Right. Yeah, we don't even fucking
You ever
know
been
each
here
other.
before?
Yeah. No, the first time it just opened. Yeah, let's rob it. Sure. I've seen Ocean's 11. Seemed easy enough for them, so
I've
let's go
seen
ahead.
Ocean's 12.
And is that a gun? Just fucking just die.
Yeah.
So for that main mechanic, it's just at the end of the day random.
I also feel like this does tend to happen. I think it's just my luck where I do unfortunately have to sacrifice a lot of turns. I get stuck at some point, or I get killed too many times, like whatever it is.
And that's not fun.
Right,
Where it's like,
because it's like, well, I can't really... Like, I would say, yeah, I felt like I had enough actions, but also a couple turns just went by where I was like, I'll just stay here!
right,
trapped.
like the saleswoman should be, like, not until I mean, because if you're playing a particular character that, like you, who has no gear that causes you to move to get out of the, you know, like, then you're just reliant on someone else to come do it, and if they're not near you or they can't get to you, then that's just multiple turns that you're just gridlocked, and it's like, well, I'm glad I get to play. Like, why isn't she, like, burn one turn, lose one turn talking to her, then she goes away?
Yeah. Well, in one little gripe that I was thinking, and I don't think I ever said it out loud, was I'm clearly dressed as staff.
Oh, right.
Like,
I think we all are supposed to be. Like, I'm a magician. I'm dressed as a magician. I don't know what the hell you are.
She's a witch.
Well, I'm either a magician's assistant or I'm a gambler. I'm a high stakes one.
Yeah.
I got a nice evening dress on.
Right.
Yeah.
Because all the other tiles, like all the other chips, the mole, the crowd, those are the beneficial ones. But the drunk, the undercover guy, and the prima donna, I think all those work perfectly fine. I actually like the fact of that your risk reward for just randomly moving or peeking. I think that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
But the saleswoman is one that I think pisses me off the most because it's just, oh, sucks to suck. Like, you're just fucking here now.
And statistically, you know, I mean, what are the odds of me getting her twice?
Yeah.
Right.
But
I feel like she needed to just be reworked in a way that is
There's gotta be a
probably
way for
house
you.
rule to be like, you know what, you just lose a turn. Lose your
Yeah.
next turn talking to her.
yeah.
Okay, fine, but like,
Which would be fair because it still totally sets you
Unless
back.
somebody can come and
Yeah.
and drag you
unless
away.
someone comes and do
I
that.
can see that.
But just for it to basically effectively take out the person, and it's like, okay, well, now I have
or
to
take out a one-time special power.
Yes.
To move away.
Right.
Because also, realistically, I wouldn't let her talk to me that long. I wouldn't, unless she's really selling something I actually want.
You know, honestly, I'm here on a mission, and I'm really not interested now.
That too.
Let me go ahead and grab the $17
Yeah.
million, then we can talk.
Hey, listen, I don't have the cash on me. I'm gonna.
Wait right here.
Yeah. It's like the salespeople in the mall. I just don't even make eye contact, and they're like, "Ah, yes, we have a sale on," and I'm like, "That's so great." I'm glad you have that sale.
Yeah. But overall, like, so yeah, it might be a little too random for my liking to play a campaign of this, to play 9 games in a row, because I could just, at least, to play this game multiple times in a night.
Right.
Because I would get increasingly frustrated, where it's like, oh, fucking great, okay,
Yeah.
wow, we need a 3, and we're not rolling it. It's, that's, I know exactly how I would be. But in terms of how the game flows and stuff, it's bog standard. Whenever this came out, but like when Burgle Bros probably first came out, which I don't know
I don't either.
what that year was.
I also will say this makes me want a burger so bad. I just kept looking at the word burg, and I was like, oh.
2015.
Okay.
That's when the first one came out. And Forbidden Desert came out in 2013.
Right.
And it reminds me of those kind of co-ops.
Right.
Like, it's not complex. It's very simple to understand. Like, these are your very basic rules. In the same vein, I mean, even like Subterra. It's just those kind of, hey, you can move, you can do your action, you can heal.
Scream a lot.
Yeah, you can die. That's pretty much it. So it has to be, because the mechanics aren't like mind-blowing,
Right.
then it has to be thematic. And I think it is.
Okay.
So, yeah. So Brett, what do you think?
So,
This thing fucking sucks. Okay, that was the box.
of the two, and having only played this once at this point, I definitely prefer the first one.
Yeah.
Because it feels like it's got the similar problems, but it doesn't feel like it's bogged down as much in them.
What the fuck is that?
I'm also... Is that from a different game?
No,
There's a lemon in there too, I think.
it's not a lemon. I think it's supposed to be a football.
No, it's a lemon.
Or
It's a
casino?
butt plug.
Yeah. No. Oh.
Oh, it's slot machine tokens?
Lemons. What's that, cherries?
It's a boot.
Pants?
No, it's probably like special items that we get.
Oh. So now you just want to open it and find out.
No, I mean you do get the reward regardless of if you win or lose.
Okay.
But I'm not writing this down. I only write down stuff when I win.
Okay. Anyway, so again, mechanically similar. The tension of we're gonna get caught. We've got the equivalent of the heat, rising, strategizing who can do it, who can get in the way. But this one, it really feels like. So the other one, okay. So the discovery of the tiles requires the players to spread out.
Yeah.
But this one feels like there's far more traps that other people need to be there to pull you out of.
Well, just that one chip tile, just the saleswoman.
Maybe just
yeah, that's the only one. Nothing else requires you
Yeah.
to have to go interact with someone else. Others are when you enter or yada yada.
Yeah.
So that's why you want to peek and stuff. But then they throw in the tiles. But like the two peeking ones, the prima donna just forces you to go there, and then the undercover cop pulls the bouncer to that spot.
Okay. The face down chips, that's a new thing here that is not in the original game.
Okay.
They are just face down tiles.
Okay.
And you discover them either by moving or peeking. And some of them, something happens when you move. I don't remember any that happens good or bad when you peek. I think that they're just discovered. There might be one. But it's all on a single tile. So there isn't as much randomness about the two-level effect.
Yeah.
There's just... You have the tile, you know what happens. You deal with it. Sometimes it blocks your movement and your whole damn plan for that turn. But most of the time, it's just either a complicating factor or it's a surprise benefit.
Okay.
The biggest difference between them, and I'll just explain very, very quickly, on that other game, each level has its own safe. And each of them need to be cracked
Okay.
in order to get out.
Gotcha.
So there's a common exit plan. And so in that sense... But the mitigation of the randomness is a much, much, much better,
I see.
in my opinion, because you don't lose the dice when you're using them.
Right.
And there isn't a limit. Well, there's a physical limit, but there isn't this kind of an abstract limit of we're only going to get 3 dice in the entire game. What you do is you go onto the safe, and then you spend turns getting more dice.
Yeah.
You spend actions getting more dice, and then anybody who happens to be on there can roll them all.
Right. Well, because it doesn't make any thematic sense of why, like, these are supposed to be safe, the keys to the safe, or whatever they are meant to be.
Right.
I thought it was safe keys.
That makes sense, because they would be in the owner's office.
Trying to find where it says the dice. There are how many? There were 5? 5 total dice.
Which is why I was hoping we'd have 5 moles, because...
So there must be an ability or someone that pulls... That
Adds
gives
more.
you a 5th one.
Probably a character can add.
Yeah. 5 safe dice is just what they're called.
Okay.
But it's also like, okay, so we're up here and we're like, okay, we got it. Did one just disappear? Like, did it just magically teleport back to the owner's office? So that doesn't even make thematic sense. I guess it's like...
It doesn't, so that just feels like a game complication that doesn't have a purpose.
It becomes kind of mechanical because the way it sounds like in the first one is that it all builds up to where everyone just pools into that one area and you're just rolling dice.
Or you're cracking 2 of them at the same time. The party splits up on different floors. Because you can do them both.
You may spend an action to move... Oh, in the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here, there's only one safe.
Right.
Which is theoretically easier, but the fact that you keep losing things means we have to be split up.
It sounds like they were trying to just make it to where it all doesn't culminate in one, just stay in one. Because if everyone was in the one location, then the bouncers in this one would basically be a non-factor. So the fact that they made it to where you had to either keep someone down there or travel back and forth made it to where the bouncers were constantly moving and there was a constant threat.
Yeah, which again,
Because that would also be annoying. Is if it'd be, well, not annoying, but it would be boring if we all just meet up there and we just do this for 4 or 5 turns in a row.
right.
And it's like, all right, yeah,
Well,
this is fun. This is fun. We could have just not set this up and done this.
Yeah.
I rolled 3 6s, Cat.
I
just
rolled a
rolled
5,
3.
5, and a 6. So
But by then,
joke's on me.
but by then we've also got mitigations of people
3, 4,
spread
5,
out
6.
on the floor to distract the guards, to keep them from the one or two or three that are rolling the dice.
Yes, which does thematically make sense.
Yeah.
Like, and I like so. It's like it sounds like I wouldn't like either. Like I don't like how either system does it because one is boring, but less random. This one's more random but more thematic.
I think they're both pretty thematic. The other key differences are in the other one, the security guards, which are not the bouncers.
Yeah.
They accelerate their movement throughout the game.
Oh, okay.
So they're actually moving faster and further every turn,
Gotcha.
which ratchets up the tension.
Mm-hmm.
And each roll has special abilities on their turn,
Gotcha.
but they don't lose them.
I see.
They're not one-time uses. They're, like the Raven in the other game, on your turn, you can send out your Raven to anywhere within this area,
Okay.
and it performs the same function, but there's only one, and every turn you can move it.
Okay.
So then you got to figure out where we're going to do for the next until it becomes my turn again,
Sure.
and where the guards are going to be.
Yeah.
So
So this became more gamery with the multiple gears.
right,
Just because you have three very different uses, and some with multi-use, and then also the flipped reverse use.
yeah.
But it
the other
is
game
limited.
also has gear cards, but you discover them by finding them in like supply rooms.
Oh, I see.
So you can get gear, and they're useful gear. Dynamite to blow up a wall. Mm-hmm. I don't remember some of them. Stealth
Yeah.
or disguise, so you can sneak past a guard.
Sure.
So
So it's not. Yeah. Those.
the other one feels a little more strategic, a little less random,
Okay.
but not a whole lot. They're definitely very similar. Thematically, I think they're both great. I think they're both
Yeah.
really feel like you're sneaking around, and the tension ratchets up, and maybe I should just take the heat this turn for
Yeah.
you and let you guys go.
There's like fucking 0 heat removal. Mm-hmm. Like the only one that I've seen was the fucking
Transferring.
transferring, but also the
Something about one of the
table
rooms.
games.
Yeah.
But that's just luck.
Yeah.
You go there and it's like, okay, get a 7 or an 11, and if you don't, then you actually make a commotion. It's like, okay. Like, and I look through these lounge cards. They're all bad.
Great.
Oh, okay.
Like, Thirsty, the bouncer sets his destination to the current player's tile. Bouncer on this floor immediately moves 2 spaces. Bouncer on this floor jumps to his destination. Set every face-up buffet, surveillance, and cashier cages tiles to have 2 counting cubes.
Oh, wow.
Like, these are all just fucking dog shit. So
Yeah.
it's like you have 0 agency in, like, to counteract the randomness of
Right.
everything. So it's like, if things start going bad, then it's going to continue to go bad, and you might as well just reset.
And then if, by luck, tile happens to be in a critical spot, that pathway that people have to go through,
Mm-hmm.
then it's just going to keep getting activated.
Yeah. I'm also not a fan of the fact that the walls are set up by the player. Like, I wish that they had wall cards
Yeah.
that you...
I'm surprised at that.
Yeah, that was... Because whenever I was like, are you kidding me? So it's just, I set it up the way I feel, but it's... So now...
Yeah, I thought in the other game they were mapped out walls.
No.
But maybe not.
Because the way you set up the
In the other
game
edition.
is you take... I mean, you take a floor, you draw it, and it's like, okay, that's his destination, or that's where he starts, and then you put the 8 random chips
Right.
onto that. Why don't these also just have set up walls? Because nothing is they're not a part of the game. Like, it's not like you rely on these anymore. This is the only thing important throughout the game. So why not put walls
Yeah.
on here?
Yeah.
You,
The other-
if
the
you
other
can
one might be
randomly
random
generate
walls.
this, huh?
The other one might be random player choice walls. I don't remember offhand.
Yeah. I don't know. I just kind of found that stupid
Yeah.
because it just makes no sense for me to have to be the one to set up the walls and just be like, okay, well, let's just hope this doesn't screw us.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's no way to know until you start flipping tiles.
Exactly.
Which is why it's great when you can do something about the walls.
Once.
But, yeah, one character one time, maybe 2 characters.
Right.
But one time, like, that's not enough mitigation for all of the randomness that goes behind it. So
Yeah, they came with 9 heist finales for you to do a campaign, and it turns into 40 attempts just because it's RNG.
Right.
Like this game, the more I'm looking at it, the more I'm like, I mean, what if the first tile we fucking revealed? What if we walked in there and this one was the owner's office?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, look at that! And then I jump up and oh, look at that, the safe.
Yeah.
Like, hey, all right, and then okay, now I'm just gonna go here, and then let's just do that, and then hey, we found the prima donnas immediately, and then oh, okay, we left.
Yeah.
Yay, we're so good.
It's-
Did we use any abilities? No, it's just everything just worked out well for us. And then you have this game where it's the complete antithesis of that.
Well, I wouldn't say this is a complete antithesis, because we did have strokes of good luck. It's hard to remember them with all the crap that came up. But I will say in all the games of Burgle Brother, in all the other games of Burgle Bros I've played, which haven't been a lot, but 3 or 4 or 5, it always feels like we're really close. It's very possible, but we could screw it up any moment. And
Oh man!
right up until the end, it really feels like it's possible. Even
Did you
this
have
one,
that feeling?
Just-
Man, I think we can pull this off. I never had that feeling.
I thought
Oh.
we could pull it off.
We had 2 prima donnas.
until-
No, we didn't.
Oh, I thought I got a second one.
No, I found
Oh, it was undercover.
Let's see. There she was.
Okay.
She was in that corner.
I thought
Right
we were
next to
going to
the
be able
exit.
to pull it off until we really started looking at the buffet.
Yeah. Buffet in its spot. Trapped.
Yeah, no, once Kat just couldn't roll a 5 or 6, I was like, this is pretty much it. And then once we revealed how we actually escape, then I was like, oh, absolutely not. It's not happening. Because then it turned into everything that you have been trying to... Now, okay, everything's revealed, so now you have some semblance of strategy to try and make it work. Now let's flip it on its head and make it random again.
Yeah.
Right.
Because then once again, let's say, yeah, we might be able to do this if the very first 2 tiles I flipped over were the prima donnas.
Yeah.
But
And the other thing is that the ultimate goal in the other game is you're moving from one floor to the next floor.
aren't
And
there
the
3 floors?
depends on the setup.
Oh, okay.
There can be. But it's always on the top floor that is the ultimate goal
I see.
that you're trying to get to. Here, it's you achieve the primary goal, then you got to go back down
Yeah.
where you started. And so I was feeling it was more possible because I'm much closer to the door.
Right.
I could have made it out.
Yeah.
You two, I can see why it's a little hopeless for me.
Right. Just because if I happen to find the prima donna on the monorail, and it's like, great, I just use the monorail and get out. So it's just, it becomes incredibly more, you just play this game in a whatever mentality because you just have no agency. It doesn't have that same strategy of like Pandemic,
Right.
where you're sitting there and you're like, where there's always kind of a point where shit looks like it's hitting the fan and you're like, okay, if we
What do I do?
if we all do this very specific way, we might be able, yeah, we still have to hope this card right there isn't Washington.
Yeah.
And if it's not,
If we hold our breath and don't believe in Jesus.
and we just don't look at it. We just don't look at it, and we put that at the bottom.
Because it was Washington.
It was Washington. Or Aeon's End, where it comes down to, because it's a randomized turn order, where it's like, if it's you going, then we win. If it's the monster, we lose. Yay! Or fuck.
Yep.
I did not have that at all. Like there was never a point where I'm like, man, we might be able to get out of here because we just had no control of whether or not we were going to succeed or not.
Yeah, got it. Well, then I would say you're not going to like the other one.
I didn't plan on playing the other one.
For the same reasons.
We
Yeah.
only play sequels.
Huh? Right, I'm only into sequels. No, I didn't plan on playing the other one because it was going to be more or less this.
Similar
That's
enough.
why I didn't buy both.
Gotcha.
Because it was like, okay, well, which one has more to it? The second one, cool, that's the one I'm going to get.
Yeah.
And I actually prefer casino heists over bank heists anyway.
Gotcha.
They seem... You have to get a team together. I mean, you have to get a team together for the bank one, but that always just seems like... I mean, I don't see Michael Bay making a fucking casino heist movie.
Or off.
Or a good movie.
No, it has to take place outside so we can blow something up.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I always like the Ocean's 11 where they go over the plan, and then it's just them actually doing the plan
Well, you know,
while
if
he's
I were
going over
doing,
it.
there are some things you can wing, and I wholeheartedly believe that, and then there are others you just can't. And this is one of them that you
Yeah.
can't.
Well, this is also one of those games where I'm sitting here and it's like, okay, well, what could we have done different? Oh, well, nothing. I mean, yeah, hold on to our gear maybe a little bit more, but that really. No, because there's no way. If we had held on to it, then we didn't use it. There's just no best way to use stuff like that.
There's enough randomness that there's no way to predict
Right,
when
so-
is the ideal moment.
So you just have to hope.
It was not to our detriment. Like, we did not do anything to
Yeah.
cause us to lose. We just got fucking hosed.
Right.
Like,
There wasn't a time where it's like, oh, let's just fuck it. Someone does something stupid and it,
Yeah.
it causes the whole game
Like,
to
it's
derail.
not
It's like
like
that was the moment.
me
that
and
was,
Brett were on purpose, like, well, making commotion.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, when it dawned on me, somebody needs to stay here, and somebody needs to stay here. Mm-hmm. It's like, fuck.
I almost feel like this game is best at 2. Because you have one person on the bottom, you have one person on top.
It might
And
be.
then it's just one. And because having Cat and I up top just causes him to move around that much more.
Either
Yeah.
that or there need to be better ways of going between the two, because that lets the third person control more of the movements of the guards.
Yeah, I also didn't
Bouncers.
really like that because, yeah, the escalator. I mean,
the fact that it's all the way in that fucking corner.
right.
Luck.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bad luck.
RNG. This is
Yep.
so if you're a person who likes RNG,
What's RNG?
random number generator,
R.
it's basically representative of what's the best way to describe it?
Shuffling cards.
Yeah,
Total randomness.
yeah, complete randomness. Like, it's described in a lot of video games to denote loot drops or something like that, where it's just, okay, well, eventually this is going to happen. So if we did this over and over, eventually things will go in our favor.
Yes,
Oh,
yeah.
I just don't like that game design.
Yeah.
I know some people do. I don't hate this game design. I want to make it very clear. I don't hate this game.
Right.
I just don't want to play it all the time.
Yeah.
It's more random than strategic for you.
Yeah.
I would say, as far as that balance goes, I would put it actually within the realm of Forbidden Desert, Forbidden Island,
Yeah.
Forbidden Sky.
Yeah.
It's more complex, and it requires more strategy and more cooperation than those do. But it's pretty much on
I
the
don't
same
know.
level.
Forbidden Sky is that one's pretty brutal.
It can be. Or, depending on the luck of the draw, it can be pretty simple, actually. There have been a couple of times that we've actually completed it and went, no, we hardly even had any peril.
Forbidden Sky, interesting. I've had that in Forbidden Desert,
Yeah.
where the eye just gets locked in like a corner, like just the way it draws, and it's like, okay, well, that's a stupid tornado. Forbidden Sky I found to be pretty aggressive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. And again, I would put this probably on the same kind of level with Forbidden Sky, as far as the strategy versus random balance, kind of in the same realm.
Right.
As far as strategizing and controlling what you can and then hoping for the best, I would put this on the same kind of complexity level. So,
Yeah, I would agree.
but
And I have those. I have Forbidden Sky and Forbidden Desert, like, because I do like them. I remember the first time I had Forbidden Desert, like, I was so fucking mad. I think I stayed, you remember it was at the townhouse, and I stayed upstairs and played the game over and over and
That
over
was
to try and fucking beat it.
so long ago, too.
And finally
Yeah.
did. I went downstairs and I was like, fucking hate that game. But I still have it.
I like Forbidden Sky.
Do you like Forbidden Sky?
It's pretty. That's about it.
Do you remember Forbidden Sky?
The one where you're... The one where you're in the sky. And there's an antenna.
it's not an antenna. But
It's a
you have
rocket
the right
ship.
idea.
Rocket ship.
You have to with
And
the
it
magnetic pieces.
beeps.
Yeah.
That's about it. That's
Yeah,
all I
because
remember.
I played Spirit
No.
Island over the weekend
Right.
with, and obviously this was. I can't compare those. That's my type of co-op game where
Right.
it's like you just have the game is difficult, or Robinson Crusoe, very difficult, but you have a lot of agency. It is based off strategy of the players, and then you just have to work against the game.
Yeah.
This is kind of whatever. So if I'm ever feeling in a casino heist movie or casino heist feel, this theme is barely touched on. So it is
Yeah.
nice that it was done.
And
Yeah.
I can't even think of any other game that has this thing.
gotta touch on the aesthetics. It is just... Oh,
Yeah, are you talking about
it's
like
giving Vegas. It's giving 50s. It's just so
Right.
so cute.
now? So obviously this has a tower thing
Also
to
love.
I don't love it.
Oh.
I think
We
it's
didn't have to set it up. You did.
This is true.
Well, so it's not Titan. It's not shit.
Yes.
Like, it's the, like, I don't know, Tim Flowers, he didn't just, diarrhea in a box and then mail it to backers like the creators of Titan did.
Probably put like a curse on it as well.
It's very...
Yeah.
It's very wobbly.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Like...
There'll be a deluxe edition at some point.
I think this is it. It utilizes the box, which is also kind of annoying because you have to take shit out of it to even make the second floor.
Yeah.
So I don't really like that.
Now, you don't have to do it this way. You can do it as 2 separate maps on the same
That's true, actually.
surface.
You could just plop it over and be like, hey, here's the second floor.
But this is cooler.
It is cooler. But like the game Holy, the Festival of Colors, where you have the 2 layers, that one's a lot more sound. I would have just much appreciated
More stability.
stability. Yeah, these are like
This is a
thin.
cardboard box, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It
So
falls apart.
well, I mean, I thought it was at one point. It's just kind of, I wouldn't say cheap, because when everything's put together and you fold it up, it's
I was
nice.
gonna say it looks nice.
Yeah, and it's very all well organized, and I do like that. It's just whenever you have to like flip it over and actually make it. Luckily, you're not doing a whole lot with it, so the fact that it shakes isn't really a factor.
Yeah.
Um,
And I never noticed that when I was moving like my piece or like things being moved around. I never was like, it's gonna fall over any
Yeah.
minute. Like,
yeah, but it's not as stable. But I guess it could be worse.
you're also not eating your dinner off of it, so
True.
I think we should though. I think that would
White meal.
be pretty hilarious.
What's really funny though is I'm gonna pop these off because at first I was looking at it. Look how disgusting this playmat looks, and it's not. They did that as a design thing because
Like the casino floor.
because Casino Floor. It just
Yeah.
they're fucking atrocious.
I just thought it was ugly.
No, because it looks dirty. It looks like it's it's darker in some areas,
It's
like
it's
a
Oh,
walking
okay,
a walking
okay,
path.
okay.
casino carpet.
And it's the pattern's worn out, and that's funny.
Right.
That is.
That's funny.
That's nice.
So I got to give them props for aesthetic because
Could they also make it sticky?
Yes.
I can make it sticky. I'm at a casino.
You fucking disgusting piece of shit.
With that being said, you guys have anything else on Burgle Bros 2, the Casino Capers? On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you guys give?
I don't want to go first.
I am
don't
at
know.
I'm at a 6.
Okay, I was
I'm at a 6. 7 feels too high. 6 is still slightly above average. I'm gonna keep it, and I will play it, but I can pretty much definitively say I'm not gonna do a campaign of this.
Fair.
Every once in a while, you break it out and go, "Was it really that bad?"
Right. Yeah, and then be reminded. All right, put it on the shelf for 8 months. So I think a 6 is appropriate.
I will agree.
6.
Yeah, for me, it's above average, but not enough to get into any kind of praise.
Right.
Perfect, because I was going to give it a 6, and I was like, is that mean? I don't think it's mean. I don't just think it's great.
No,
So-
too many people think 6 is way too low, and it's like 6 is above average,
Yeah.
slightly above average. So,
I think it is.
Many men
and
would
I mean,
agree.
6 is where I draw the line for keeping games. Like now, months down the line, I might look at it and be like, you know what? But as of right now,
I've
I'm
got too
still
many 6s already.
no. 5 is where it's like there's no point in keeping this.
Yeah.
We don't accept average in this home.
Nope. That's why we get rid of our kids.
That's right.
All 18 of them,
Yeah, we just popping them out, and it's like,
like rabbits.
I'm not feeling this one.
He kind of looked at me funny the other day.
Yeah. Alright, so that was our thoughts on Burgle Bros 2, the Casino Capers. Let us know what you think of the game in the comments below. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you. Hey everyone, thank you for watching, and I really hope that you enjoyed the video. If you would like to see more of my content, go ahead and click that subscribe button and the bell to be notified whenever I upload any new content. If you feel like supporting the channel, you can go ahead and click that Patreon link to be taken to my Patreon, and any help is truly appreciated. Other than that, stick around for any other run-throughs or reviews or cool top 10s or whatever I feel like putting on. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.